July 2020, Part 3, Kap-Kig-Iwan Provincial Park. And yes, I had to practice saying that name.
Yeah, this was a weird park. I thought it was kind of weird. Because, there's, only 3 people who work there full time. It's not a huge park. And compared to, especially a lot of the campgrounds, there's only, 32 sites. And I think our next smallest site was, 230. So it's tight in there.
Well, it didn't seem to be about the campground. It was about the park. 'Cause the campground, there wasn't much space between you and your neighbor.
No.
But there was a fair amount of trails and stuff. And it obviously was meant for skiing.
Yeah, there's a lot of, snowshoeing and cross-country skiing that obviously happens there. Because at the front entrance, there's, the main gate. And, right beside the main gate, there's, the chalet for, the Nordic club or for the area. So, and you gotta be careful too if you ever go to this place and it's summer, you want to camp there or whatever. The site's 1 to 12 or something. We're at site 7, so I can't remember exactly the range. But those first range from 1 to 12 or 1 to 14 or whatever it is, we're on that side. Yeah, they're pull throughs and they're 60 feet long, but they are not level at all. Not even close.
They're on a hill, and unfortunately, we showed up, right after the rain?
Yeah.
So when we tried to level out, our levels just slid.
Yeah, we have Anderson levelers, and they just slid in the mud. So they were useless.
Our neighbor, a complete stranger to us, was very kind. Actually, I'd say we had some of the nicest people at this campground.
Mm-hmm.
The one neighbor offered us wood, and we accepted the offer to put our camper up on it to help us level. And then another neighbor, because they don't sell campfire wood here, so you had to kind of forge the woods. They tell you not to not be blatant about it, but they're not going to bother you about it because they don't sell the wood. So we're trying to burn this wood that obviously was wet, and this other set of neighbors had bought a huge thing of wood, and they came right over and offered it to us. They're really kind.
Yeah. So before we get back to the campground, we got to talk about the trail. So the trail started off
beautiful,
awesome,
and then it got very narrow.
Half a trail you could hazard walk single file.
With mud. There's the mud.
There's a lot of mud. You gotta be.
And there's the mud.
Yeah, you have to do some American Ninja Warrior to get across some of this mud. So.
Yeah, you're kind of balancing on the logs.
And you're balancing, yeah.
But look at the pictures. I mean, the view on that trail was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But you definitely need hiking boots for that trail.
Yeah.
It is called Hell's Gate.
It is called Hell's Gate. Yeah. And it was since the rain, it was slick. So.
Yeah, it did rain that morning, so maybe if it had been drier, but there were parts of the trail that kind of had melted away down the cliff, so...
Yeah, now I will admit, I think the better scenes were the actual, not that trail, but there's a lookout that's not far from the campground, and you go down the ridiculously steep hill, and at the bottom of the ridiculously steep hill, you can kind of walk to see all the rapids and stuff, and the waterfalls, and that's where Andrea got her perspective for her painting. And I thought I honestly thought after Hell's Gate, it's the kind of that first day where you kind of see the pavilion where the waterfalls are. You kind of follow that trail along. I think those were the better perspectives of that place.
Yeah, those were, and they had that really cool stone wall, mm-hmm. which is coming up in one of our pictures. Unfortunately, I didn't get to finish my painting at the waterfalls because it started to rain.
Yeah.
So this is actually me back home doing it in our backyard. But there was the place where I sat, and it was beautiful. There's the boys on the hike.
Yeah. I do want to say for if you're out there, it's outside of, it's a 3-minute drive. It seems like in the middle of nowhere, but it's a 3-minute drive to Englehart, which is the town just outside of it. And we had we had to get some minor repair done to our camper there, so thanks to Peter's auto repair there, because he really hooked us up on that day.
So that was Kap-Kig-Iwan, Waterfall Chasing, painted by Andrea Cubis. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks again, Andrew.
No problem.